Okay, so welcome back. Healthy Morning is still on live on HSTV. We're done with the sports segments, regardless of Mexico's. They are showing their whole lot of things, but now we need to move on to the technical. What I'm talking about, IT is taking over now. We can never do away with technology, but mostly or lately, I'm going to say children or kids are really exposed when we talk about technology right here. We're going to talk about how to control these children from using our devices, and we have a Superman right here. He's an IT consultant, Mr. Emmanuel. He's going to help us do this conversation. But to remind you, we're active on all our social media platforms. That is HSTVLIVEGH. Go there, share the links amongst your friends and family, and tell them we have an interesting and very important topic to discuss today on the InfoCourse segment. Mr. Emmanuel, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
I like the seats.
Yeah, thank you.
Looking splendid again.
Great.
It's nice. And we're talking about how to control our children from using all these devices lately. We know the health implications, and when they get exposed to a lot of things, and it doesn't really turn out well when they're growing up. But before that, let's touch on when we talk about these devices. What are they?
Okay. Well, I think the impact of information technology cannot be denied.
Exactly.
And that is where the entire world has shifted to.
Yeah.
And I think COVID also made it a lot of people to see that, hey, everything is possible, even without physical contact and so many other things. So yes, there are various forms of devices that can connect to the internet, make use of it, and to the benefit of the individual. And depending on how the individual uses it can become good or can become very bad. So the children too are not left out. Parents are giving up their own devices for children to do assignment, which is very good and very okay. They are buying them iPads and other stuff like this to help the children learn. So it's okay for children to have access to this because modernity has also made it such a way that some years to come, certain things will not be available again. Yes, physically and so many other things. A lot of things are going to be delivered through the internet, are going to be digitized, which we are all calling for. So it's good that from the onset, the children get used to this. So that to some level, they can also compete equally with their other counterparts from other worlds, other societies, equally on the global stage. Yes.
So it's very necessary to get exposed to all these things. But yes, definitely they getting exposed, that they trying to be smart ahead of the future. I know there's some challenges that comes with these whole expose, let me put it that way.
Yes.
Let's touch on these challenges as well.
Okay, I think I've enumerated quite a number of them. I will be looking at 5 core ones.
Okay.
The first one is excessive screen time.
Okay.
You see, gadgets and IT, social media and all this they are very addictive.
Okay.
And it's, if not controlled, that means the child is going to spend quite a lot of their time on the screen.
Okay.
And I was speaking to a colleague, a friend who is an optometrist. I said, no, these days they are beginning to have a lot of children coming to the eye clinic for checkups and things concerning their eyes. So there's a screen, the resolution, the lighting from these things, and if the kids are exposed too much on this, it has health implications on the children. So which means they need to be controlled, else it could be very devastating as they grow ahead. The second one is the inappropriate content. The internet has both good and bad content. For every facet of our lives. All right. So if children are not controlled, they may end up accessing age inappropriate content. Okay. Depending on the age of the child and its appropriate content for them. Well, obviously, some of the things are marked adult content, 18 plus and other things. So if a child of, say, between the ages of 5 to 10 is watching something that is meant for people 30 plus and above, it could have consequences and implications to the children.
But with that inappropriate content, we find ourselves in a society whereby parents really not have conversation with their children, trying to educate them or help them or assist them. So they go all in like, okay, I need to know what's happening. So are we saying there's lack of communication when it comes to this side as well?
Okay, so I would say lack of parental control.
Okay.
Yes, on these devices and also the content that is appropriate for the children to watch. Yes, then there is also cyberbullying. All right, now it is either the child that is going to be cyber bullied, or he or she would end up bullying some other people. So if all these things are not checked, so you could see that maybe probably your child become timid, feel abuse and other things because somebody somewhere is cyberbullying the child. So these are also some of the the negative or the challenges that are going to be faced. Then also privacy concerns. These days we are in the age where privacy is a topmost on the agenda of every nation, every organization trying to make sure information about individuals are protected. These are children. They may end up being tricked or asked for personal details. They go ahead and provide it. For example, they ask their name, their age, school they attend, where they stay, what they do. These children, if not trained or educated properly, they will end up providing all this information, which could lead to other impersonation, identity theft on the internet. So these are issues. Then also digital addiction, which is very serious. These things are designed primarily to become addictive. And once children become addictive, you realize they seclude them from what? Physical activities. Society. They will not be engaged in social activities, and thereby they become loners on their own. They are okay within their own closet, but the long run effect is that they may not become sociable. They may know how to interact on the internet with other people, but when it comes to physical contact, family life, social life, they would set themselves out. So these are the 5 main challenges
you're going through. Okay, so talking about the challenges, we've spoken about screen time, inappropriate content, cyberbullying, privacy concern, and digital addiction. So we're taking it gradually. These are some of the challenges we find in there. Now, still on the parental control, we have parents who are really not in tune, or they really do not have an idea when it comes to technology and these devices, especially our market women. But now some people are really smart. They kind of pray their WhatsApp and do all these things. So with a parent who has no idea about these things, what are some of the measures they can put in place for them not for their children not ending up in such situations?
Okay, so number one, the screen time regulations. So you set time for the kids. Between this time and this time, you can have access to your gadget and work with it. Outside this time is a no-no. So they are controlled. They know the appropriate time when to play, when to learn, when to use their gadget, and when they cannot use their gadget. So it limits the number of times they interact with these things to at least their health and time with family and other things are in place. Then also regulating age-appropriate content. Okay, so parents will be talking about some of the tools that can be used, but parents will regulate and know that these sites, these websites, there are channels, for example, on YouTube that are marked for kids. So all content going to these areas or that can be accessed from these platforms are, they are checked very well. They are they are curated to make sure they are fit for those kind of ages. So they are set so that which one is appropriate for your ward. Yes, that's also important. Then online safety conversations. I think we all are aware of how scammers and criminal things are done on the net. So parents engaging their children, having a conversation with them to discuss these things are very, very important. They are very, very important. Then also using parental control apps where you can have time to control. You decide when these children can use these apps and when they cannot use. Then also monitoring what they can access or what they've been doing. At times parents, like for example, you are not at home, it's vacation. They have this device, but how do you manage what they are watching? So remotely, you're able to control these things so that they are not able to, go overboard or access content that are inappropriate. Then one of the critical things that parents can also do is to set digital free zones or device free zones. Tech free zones. So for example, on the dining table, no phone. In the bedroom, no phone. It's for sleeping, it's for eating. Any other place. So you demarcate these areas so that they don't find themselves all over the place. Whilst eating, they are checking out a movie, they are playing games. Bedtime, they are there, they are not sleeping and doing. So you set those areas that these places you cannot use your devices in these locations. So tech-free zones. So these are some of the things that parents can do to actually help.
Interesting. So now let's talk about the tools. Because I know we have other tools that can be used, to care about these things. So let's touch on that one as well.
All right, so we have quite some few tools that are on the internet that you can use to actually do this. And, one of them is Nanny, Net Nanny.
Net Nanny.
Yes, Net Nanny is there. We also have Google Family Link.
Okay.
We have Norton Family, Kaspersky Safe Kids.
Okay.
Okay, so there are quite a lot, but these are the ones that I have tried. I know they are very good. So what they help you to do is that they help you control the device remotely.
Okay.
So long as there's internet connectivity, you are able to set what the children can watch, the screen time, when the device will be accessible.
Okay.
So
they can still have the phone or maybe their gadget with them, but you can control it from where
you can control it.
You are.
Yes.
Interesting. Now, I want let's touch on the Net Nanny, because when we talk about nanny, it brings us to people who take care of kids and all that.
So it's just playing the role nannies will play.
Okay.
So for example, of course, if a child is crawling or going to touch fire or something that is harmful, the nanny is definitely going to stop the child from doing so. So so as a parent with this app, it is installed on both your device and that of the child. So you remote control it. So you don't have to be physically there, but you can control what time the device will be accessible. If it is not time, no matter what they do, you can on it, but you can't go past just the owning the device. But when it is time, the device, it will open. The individual can launch the various apps. So you determine which apps can be installed on the system. So not too much games, but mostly those that are educative can help them in learning and also regulating the content. Because the parents, we may not have an understanding of all the websites that are not appropriate for the kids. But once you set those controls within these applications, it's able to determine which sites are appropriate and safe for the kids to use. They also control the activity, what they have done so far. So in the event that maybe they're able to bypass one or two things, you're able to see the logs of what they have been doing, what they have been watching, the chat and other things that they've been doing with their friends. So it helps the parent to actually control. So actually, you are technically controlling the device, deciding what the kids can do. And in the event that they go beyond, you are also able to detect quickly and to offer the necessary help that you can actually do.
Okay. So the same thing applies to the Google Family Link
as
well?
All these things, they are all in a category and they all do these things just to monitor the children and control the device by the parents.
Okay, that's interesting. But, sometimes they controlling and all that, but with the physical, how do I put it, impact too, sometimes we need the parents to be by the side of the children and all that, but with the parents as well, how do they get to, educate themselves, to be, in order for them to be able to regulate all these things? Do they have, some measures or anything special they're supposed to also go on the internet to study?
Okay, so as parents, well, I believe parenting is something that must be learned.
Okay.
At all angles. So definitely before you can allow your child to use these device goods on this platform, at least just one or two reading to have an understanding of how these things work is very important to the parents. Because you cannot guide when you yourself you don't know. So you allow yourself to educate yourself on some of these things. And at times, you can engage. For example, if there's a game that needs to be played, you can engage and play with your child. To understand how the game works and the effect it is having, so that you can properly guide. So engage conversations with them, understand from their perspective what their experiences are. They may share this with the parents, and the parents will have this as first hand. So self-education by the parent is very important in order to guide the child to do the right thing.
Okay. Now let's touch on the education and awareness. It's very, very necessary, because if they are not being educated or the awareness are not created, I think the children are not going to end up in a good space where they are going to go overboard. We've spoken about the content and the activities they engage themselves in when they go online. So let's talk about awareness and education. What should be done?
Okay. I think cybersecurity education is important for every parent.
Okay.
Yes, and currently the month of October is declared the Cybersecurity Month. So all activities by major government institutions and especially the Cybersecurity Authority is all about these things, educating parents and everybody. And schools have also taken it up, trying to educate in one or two ways to do that. So it is important for parents to pay critical attention to these things. You know, it's not just something that we just have to gloss over. When we hear it, we should be interested, because this is where modern life is going to be lived. On the internet, wherever we are engaging and other things. So definitely our children are coming there. So it is our duty to ensure that we have an understanding of the space we are bringing our children. Of course, it is the parents that are giving their own phones or devices to their children. They are buying them the devices just to make sure life is okay for them, so that they can become abreast of their situation and what is around them. So the education of the parent is very important. We should, you know, consciously seek to get ourselves educated in these matters concerning our children, because it will be very sad for a parent to realize that, no, as a result of the steps I took, what I bought for my own child, what I led him or her into has resulted in something that is very, very bad. No parent would forgive themselves if they happen to find themselves in this situation. So it is important they take the first step. Try to understand. If not, consult people. Consult their teachers, people that you believe may have knowledge in these areas before you allow your children to go there. And those that have the little knowledge, we should engage with the children. You know, we are in a very participatory spheres of life. You can't just make a decision and the child, you know, especially those in their teens, expecting them to just comply that way. But let them understand the consequences, the reason why you are taking certain steps, and why you want to protect them from these things. Once they have those understanding and that cordiality, you know, open space for communication is there. When the children become our friends, they are able to tell us the challenges they are facing, that we know how to resolve them as parents.
Okay, so you're talking about we being in the month of
cybersecurity
and all that. Now, let's move into the governmental space. I know we have lots of measures that are put in place to make all these things. Now, we're finding ourselves in a digitalized world where everything you need to, you know, go on your phone, get access to it. Would you say these things that are being brought into the system now, from your space, do you think the response has been good? Are people really appreciating and jumping on this new set, or let me say era?
Yes, some are not.
Why is it so?
Well, so let's say the digital divide, which I think the government through other means and efforts and other civil society organizations are trying to bridge that gap. So for example, let's take our villages. How much access of internet do they have to? So they may not be so much abreast with some of these things. But the unfortunate situation is that these children are coming from the villages. They are coming to compete with people from the urban and those who have access to this internet. Likewise, children of Ghanaian origin are also going to be meeting with their colleagues from the USA, Germany, and other European countries across the world. We are all meeting on the same stage. And the internet provides the same resources for everybody, regardless of where we are. So if that gap is not closed, if our children don't know how to have access to these things, it will be very difficult for them to be on the global stage. And like we say, the world is what? It's a global village. Within seconds, we are able to access content and, you know, communicating elsewhere. So if they cannot play around with these tools and gadgets, if they cannot use these things, then we are going to put them at what? The disadvantage side. Which, of course, the nation, the parent, and anybody wouldn't want to do that. So the bridging the space, government is leading the effort, but civil society, our churches, the mosque, schools, and other CSOs should take it very seriously by bringing on board, sponsoring programs, promoting things that could bring to the awareness of what children, parents, about their responsibilities in safeguarding their children.
Interesting. Yes. But now, when we talk about internet problems, you know, that's what we do to have access. And people are complaining now how high you're supposed to, let me say, the amount, or let me say, the money you're supposed to pay to have access to internet is becoming very, very tiring. And now people are really not concerned about, you know, their phones. They have to drop their gadgets. Hey, me from your phone, you know, you also finding yourself in that space as well. What are the telcos, let me say, what are they also doing in order to help, you know, make all internet access very available? What are they also doing?
Well, I think the telcos are doing much. They are. Yesterday, I found myself in Saturday. I was at the Western North part of Ghana, and I was able to have an online class. very remote area, but the internet was superb. It was okay.
Strong, yeah.
So whilst they are doing the best, the government through the Ministry of Communications through are also stretching forth to other locations, and they are doing quite a lot to expand the internet reach to every Ghanaian. Well, when it comes to costs, the cost of everything is increasing.
Yeah.
And if you compare on the continent, Ghana has one of the lowest. Well, fine, we will be judging it from the point of view of our economy.
Okay.
All right, so we may say it is very easy, but if you come to the Africa or the continental stage, we have one of the lowest. And also, a lot of people spend quite a chunk of their data on things that are not really relevant. You know, if you follow the comedies and, you know, things that will make you laugh, these are videos, and they end up consuming quite a lot. But for educational purposes, you are reading those that are text-based documents, but those ones don't consume much like the videos and other things where we find ourselves in. Yes.
Okay. Now, I want us to look at the, let me say, the database. You know, people are being scammed each and every time. We talk about cyberbullying, we talk about people, you know, extorting and doing stuff, you know, with the internet. And I know definitely from your space, you have a data where it gives a rough figure of all these activities that are happening. When we talk about scam and bullying right here, do you think it's on the rise, or now it's been able to curb, or like the situation is under control?
All right, it's on the rise. Why? Because a lot more people are joining the internet bandwagon. So the more people are coming on board, you know, the more people also try to find ways of outwitting, or for example, people that are very new, they do not believe or have not even experienced this kind of scam alerts to actually prick their ears to pay particular attention to this. So yes, more people are coming on board. It is rising, but how do we control it so that other people will not fall victims to this? Yes, by speaking about it, sharing examples, and continuous education. But you know, the unfortunate thing is that at times the very critical thing that will help people, they are most of the time not interested. But just like the physical space, we take every effort to secure our rooms, our places, our physical environment. We are now living that same life on the internet. So precautions will also be taken. As much as we do in our physical environment, before you enter places, if you don't know that, you are skeptical, you are very watchful. The same way we should apply this kind of security techniques when we jump onto the internet or using any internet-based solution or facilities. Yes, it's a space. And what even makes it more critical on the internet is that you do not have physical access to the people. You may not know the jurisdiction from where this individual is operating from. So the person could be hiding in somewhere in Afghanistan, but you're communicating with you and pretending not to be somebody who knows you and very close to you. So we have to be very, very watchful and hold ourselves accountable for whatever activity we do. Because in the physical space, you are responsible for your own safety. You put in place the appropriate measure. The same way. So online is just the very life we are living in the physical space, but now we are putting that same lifestyle on the internet. So the safety precautions we take in our daily lives, we should also engage. You want to pay somebody money, you want to make sure you are paying to the right person. Right? You want to find out if it's a correct shop. So you check the name of the shop. You are trying to see, what do they sell? Are they selling the right things? Are they registered? So these are the very same things you look out for on the internet. So long as there's nothing free, you wouldn't be going and somebody calls you, say you have won 10,000 Ghana cedis. So why should you believe that on the internet as well? So the same lifestyle we live here, we should transpose that onto the internet, and we should rather be even more careful about the internet one. I could walk to somebody's shop, but on the internet, yes, I'm in somebody's shop, but I don't know where it is situated. That makes it more dangerous.
And you know, I just want to stand in for some citizens and public people. You know, sometimes you speak to the elderly ones, and maybe there's something happening where you need to take their database or their information, and they go like, hey, I didn't go to there. And sometimes people complain about it. You know, they are supposed to fill forms or submit private, let me say, documents. Then later on they get exposed and they are ended up being scammed or defrauded. What exactly is the problem, or why is that thing happening?
Okay. One of the reasons why these things happen is a failure to abide by regulations. The Data Protection Act enjoins every institution that takes people's information to keep it in a certain way, to put in place the appropriate organizational and technical measures to secure information about you and I, citizens of Ghana, whose data they collect. However, it also bestows on the individual to ask questions, probing questions. what are you collecting this information for? We should be very careful about that. So you see, at times we sacrifice our data for things coming in the name of they are free. That should tell you that there's nothing that is absolutely free. So what is required is that you are exchanging your personal data for something that you purported to be free. So that software you want to download, you don't want to pay for, you want to download, that system you want to access, it is in exchange of something that you have. And the data about that is so valuable, very important. So we should be very careful. Anytime we are filling out or we are requested for information about us, we should ask, why are you collecting this data? Who are you going to share it with? What are you going to use it for? So these are very key and critical questions. Where it is suspicious or we are not okay within ourselves, let's trust our conscience. Just forget about it. Because you going on that website to download that piece of information, if you don't get it, will it cost you that much? If it don't cost you that much, then you can afford to, just let it go. Maybe you could also get that same information at the appropriate places. So you should be looking out for, for example, certain platforms are trusted to at least keep our information secure. Government platforms, organizations like the Microsoft, the Apples, and the giants, they go a step further. Yes, but most especially where we are being requested to provide things about our date of birth, very personal information about them, we should be very scared. We should open our eyes wide and understand the reason for giving out this information, if they are appropriate, before we go ahead and provide this information.
Okay, so viewers, Healthy Morning is still on live on HSTV, and this is the InFocus segment where we have Mr. Emmanuel Gadasu. He's an IT consultant, and we are talking about controlling the use of device by children. But I think it's a broader conversation. We cannot just throw light on just the children. Individuals, institutions, everybody now is using the internet. Now let's get interactive. We have a Facebook page active. That's HSTVLIVEGH. We're streaming live there. You can go there, leave your comment, and also we're activating the phone lines now. We have it on our screens: 0302 776 379, 0302 776 379. If you have any question for Mr. Emmanuel regarding the topic we are treating today, you can call in right now and let's get interactive. So Mr. Emmanuel, I want to find out from you, at what age would you advise a parent to allow their children set a profile for themselves on social media? Because we have a lot of social media apps, our Instagram, our Facebook, and a lot keeps adding up. At what age are you going to say that a parent should give a chance for their children to set a profile for themselves?
Okay, so let's go by what is legally agreed and acceptable in our country, Ghana. The legal age for certain things to be done or decision to be taken by what these kids is 18. Yes, so ideally let's go by the 18, so that at 18 they are able to decipher between what is good and what is bad. But at that age,
but now we even have at the age of, let me say, 5, 8, where we have kids who are well known on, let me say, public figures.
Yes,
where they are sometimes given their phone to have access, go live on Instagram, talk to their viewers, their fans, and all that.
Okay, so the appropriate thing, I think, that parents can hold those accounts.
Okay,
they will set up those profiles for the kids, but the parents will be controlling that. But from 18 and above, then you can let them have control over it themselves. So 5-year kids, what does he or she know? Of course, you could be doing something that is relevant to the public, educative, and other things. But the profile, the opening of the account, setting up the basic for the child should be from the parent.
The parents.
Yes. So when they are 18, then they can handle their own stuff.
Okay. So there shouldn't be any. Definitely, the parents should
set up the account. Yes, but for the children could be operating it, managing it on day-to-day basis and other things. But the ownership should be by the parents.
Okay.
Yes.
So we have our first caller. Hello. Good morning. Your name and where are you calling from? Hello. Okay, so the lines are still active. 0302 776 379 0302 776 379. Calling, let's have an interactive conversation. We're talking about controlling the use of device by children, by parents. I think we've spoken about a lot of things. We've spoken about screen time. You should be able to set a screen time for the kids, the time frame they're supposed to use their phones or gadgets, and also we've spoken about the content that we allow our kids to have on their phones. Is very, very, very necessary. And I like the fact that you mentioned there was a point where you spoke about the areas we're supposed to use phones. There's a term you gave us.
Tech-free zones.
Tech-free zones. So on the dining hall, probably we are not supposed to be using the phone there in our bedroom. There should be restrictions, measures, drastical measures should be put in place, because now we've been complaining about a lot of scam, people defrauding, even our kids. And Mr. Emmanuel, one of the sad part of these whole things, we have kids going to IT schools. Parents enrolling them in the IT schools. They are smart. They are doing so well when it comes to IT. But later on, when we talk about these fraudsters, they go in for these smart ones, browsing for them, sending the messages, and these people behind, or these people, let me say, influencing the kids, they do not have any idea about it. But the educated ones are the ones, going in for this whole thing. What would you say about it? Because it's very sad. Where I have to send my son to school, study IT, he comes out, he's rather helping someone defraud somebody from the other party.
Yes, so that is where the education now comes in. And you, the parents, also getting involved in what your children are doing. So as a parent, if you have these app controls on this platform, at least you begin to monitor and see the things that your ward is doing. So that is why the involvement of the parent is very, very necessary when it comes to these things. Yes.
Okay, so we'll be wrapping up now.
Sure.
I think we've exhausted most of the angles. What would be your final words to parents? And I know we have probably some children also watching us. What are you going to tell them?
Okay. So, yes, IT, gadgets, devices, they are very good for modern day life.
Okay.
However, anything that is done in excess without the appropriate controls and measures can be very devastating. It might be meant for good, but it will turn out to become bad, depending on how we monitor and control our children. Then parents, we should get involved. These are our children. We are the ones buying the data for them at home. We are the ones providing the gadgets. Of course, no parent would want to lead their wards into an environment that is unsafe. So we should try to understand where we are leading our children, what we are paying for, what they are studying, what they are using the gadget for. And also engage. Let's partner with the kids. Let's play games together. Let's do some of education, conversation together. So if as a parent we say, okay, on the dining table it's a tech-free zone, nobody does that. Why should the parent be doing it? You say in the bedroom we are not doing that. When we go to church we are not doing that. Then we must all abide by it. So that it will be a fair deal between parents and children.
Okay, we're really humbled having you on the show today, Enlightening. I know definitely we're going to have another series, and we'll still talk about IT, because we can never do away with it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so, but how do we reach out to you if someone wants to have a conversation with you in line with...
All right, so 0243 91 3077.
Okay. So consultation as well. I know you do that.
Yes.
That's what you do.
Yes. So once they get in touch, we'll be able to find solutions to some of these issues.
Okay. All right. Sure. So we've been having a conversation with Mr. Emmanuel Gadasu. I hope I got the pronunciation right.
Yes.
He's an IT consultant, and today we've spoken about how to control devices used by our kids and the parents. I'm told we have apps we can go on, help us make this thing very easy. We've spoken about the family. I know of the family link.
Yes, family link. Net Nanny.
Net Nanny, yeah. Yes. So these are all there. Just go search it out, and it's going to make your work very easy. So quickly, let's go for a 10. When we come back, Iram, will be joining me before we wrap up the show. Stay tuned.
Third Eye Care and Vision Center is here with all your eye care solutions. Yes, Third Eye Care is at it again. Are your lenses becoming foggy because of wearing face masks or sitting in air-conditioned spaces? Are your eyes getting sore and tired after using the computer for prolonged periods? Are you struggling with light from oncoming cars and other vehicles when driving at night? Worry no more. Third Eye Care and Vision Center has all the right solutions for you. We have anti-fog and blue filtering lenses that solves it all. Third Eye Care and Vision Center also stocks all types of lenses, designer frames, sunglasses, and employs very well-trained, qualified, and licensed optometrists to provide all your eye care needs. Locate us at Airport Residential Area, close to the Association International School, opposite Mirage Residence, or Northridge, on the premises of Sunny FM, and close to the Kanda Overhead Bridge. Our working hours are Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Saturday, 9 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Call us on 054-328-7008 or 026-646-2080. Please do well to observe all COVID-19 protocols. Third Eye Care and Vision Center, your total eye care solutions provider.
Me mama call baba SO Herbal Hospital. SO Herbal Hospital ye yaresabia ye hwe yarewa bebre bibi ti say HIV, bedwetting, hypertension, diabetes, cocoa, malaria, enteric fever, low sperm count, sexual weakness. Ude tutu anamoba SO Herbal Hospital. SO Herbal Hospital uba eba eni obi anani afra for 30 years, 40 years, 15. Oh, Otigana bate yen is snow airto. Ohu adi bleble. Manimba SO Herbal Hospital. Ebetia manete. Oba yedu befa ye examination mu. Na ya so enini swama. Ya ma some few minutes. Na wati na ho. Wankasa ubedi adanse se. SO Herbal Hospital the best eba eni yare. Ye was scan department. Ye lab ahudro bia. Na ura ye pharmacy wa. Edonu ye niama obia. Ye de edoni bema ona ya checho se na obetumi ania edonu. Enti na SO Herbal Hospital no ye demu shunko.
Ubehu ye chira kwan ewo Amasaman Stadium Junction. Ubetuma friend penifo ewa homatro for so 055 552 9253 ena 050 344 9444 ena fi 027 285 9115.
It's a new twist, it's a new vibe on Lunchbox, your #1 entertainment and lifestyle show on HSTV. This is where we sit with your favorite entertainers and personalities to squash out all the juicy information you need to know.
I'm Miss Labby as I bring you known discussions and trending news in the world of entertainment.
Oh yes, I know you don't want to miss out on the live performances and party jams with our DJs live in the studios.
Talking about good eating lifestyle, we're coming closer to all your eateries and restaurants. You get the chance to send a shout out and music request to your loved one.
And to you, our viewers at home, you can call in and send your messages to your friends and family live on the show. So make a date with me, JK.
And I'm Miss Labby every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at exactly 1 p.m. live on HSTV.
Join in, let's spice your afternoon.
Yo, so finally back again. This is still Healthy Morning Live on HSTV. Earlier, we had a conversation with an IT consultant, Mr. Emmanuel Gadasu. We've been talking about how to control devices used by our kids. And I know you've picked one or two things from that conversation. It is very, very necessary because he said moving into the optical center, we have a lot of parents working in with their children having, eye problems because they've been exposed to, the gadgets and all that. Yes, set time limits, screen times, ensure you have places where you're supposed to have access to, their mobile phones. We should be very strict about it because talking about scam, cyberbullying, a lot of things. So just be careful how you get exposed to your children. Irama, with the conversation we had, what do you think about it?
I think it's very true. We have a lot of children out there that have been exposed to technology at such an early age. So because of this, let's say some of the parents do not put any restrictions on where they are visiting, the pages they are visiting and all of that. So talking about this, and I'm aware we have a particular guideline for all of this, and it's very true. It's very good as well that these parents will be able to follow this to know that, okay, I have to restrict my child from going into this and from watching that. But sometimes you can put a lot of restrictions on the children and regardless they are still doing the same things behind closed doors. You never know what they are doing. So just do not give them these devices at such young ages, because you think that you've restricted a child from visiting this page, you've put this in, but please, who are you deceiving? These children move into the other spaces and then they have influence from their peers and they're like, oh, come on, if this is the restriction, I have other ways to hack into it and stuff. I mean, it's...
There was one key thing I took out of the conversation is we having an open conversation with our children, because I mentioned earlier that with our setting and our setup, or let me say our upbringing, sometimes it's very difficult. Parents have certain conversation, even talking about sex education and all that. We are very restricted. They feel
like you're rather exposing the child to it, but then you're educating the child in the right way. Because if you say you're not going to expose these stuff to the child, when the child moves into the other environments, the way he or she is going to learn it is going to be different from how you are going to teach that child. Exactly. And the child is going to learn the bad aspects of it, not the right ways to do this and that. That one, it was in your hands. You're supposed to do that, not let the child go into other spaces and people rather encourage the child that this is what you're supposed to do. So the restrictions and stuff, you need to be a little bit lenient and teach these children these stuff so they don't move into other spaces and other people rather put these things in their minds that they are able to do all these stuff.
So it's been an interesting conversation. We're happy we had this, and I know parents and children are going to pick up one or two information and apply it in their day-to-day life. So now we're moving straight into the birthday wish. We know people are still celebrating their birthday in the month of October. So we're going to start off with Kobe J. So coming from myself, Susie, and the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, Nima District. He's a blogger. He's doing so well, and when it comes to news content. So with Kobe J, we are wishing you a happy birthday. God bless you, enlarging your coast, and keep doing amazing. You're here to stay and make a great difference.
Definitely.
Happy birthday.
Okay, so happy birthday, Kobe J. And then away from that birthday, we have another birthday wish for another special person. So happy birthday to you, Magdalene Chantel Oye. Happy belated birthday to you. This is coming from Esther Baba, my sister. She says she wishes you a happy birthday and she hopes that you have a blast. You're one amazing person that she's ever had in her life. So happy birthday to you, Magdalene Chantel Oye. I hope that yesterday was amazing for you. And then also away from that, a happy birthday to Princess. May the good Lord bless you and guide you. Enjoy your day. This is coming from Nadia right here at HSTV. Happy birthday to you, Princess. I hope that today you're going to celebrate it with all those you love and you're going to have a wonderful time today. Nadia is also wishing that to you. Once again, this is coming from Nadia Black to you. Happy birthday to you, Princess. And also another happy birthday to Mr. Raphael Mando Boko. So happy birthday to you, Mr. Raphael. We hope that God keeps blessing you and your family and all of those around you, and I hope that you have a blast today. Happy birthday to you, Mr. Raphael. And away from that, a happy birthday to Mr. Yao Banafo. He's a media personality, so happy birthday to you, Mr. Yao Banafo, and may God richly bless you, and may this day be as blessed as you are, and also your family as well. Have a wonderful day today. And also away from that, a happy birthday to Madame Eva Gina Bediakon. She is the director of GES, so happy birthday to you, Madame Eva. May God richly bless you. May He protect your family. More money, more prosperity, and more happiness in your life. Have a wonderful day today, Madam Eva. And also away from that, a happy birthday to Sir Prince Lucrative. He's a content creator and the staff of North Legon School Complex. Happy birthday to you, Sir Prince Lucrative. May God richly bless you and may He keep enriching you. May everything you touch turn to gold as well. Have a wonderful day today, Sir Prince. And also a happy birthday to In Team World of Music in Yom. Happy birthday to you. May God richly bless you and may He enrich you. More money, more prosperity, and everything good coming your way. Have a blast today. And also a happy birthday to Mr. Johnson Adabla. Happy birthday to you, Mr. Johnson. May God richly bless you and may everything you touch turn to gold. We hope that you have a wonderful day celebrating your birthday today. And also a happy birthday to Anchorite Jonathan Tete. Happy birthday to you, Anchorite Jonathan. This is coming from Apostle Thomas Kusi Apia, and we hope that you have a wonderful day today. And also a happy birthday to Anchorite Duke Kweku James. Happy birthday to you, Anchorite Duke. May God richly bless you. This is coming from Apostle Thomas Kusi Apia. I hope that you have a wonderful day today. And also penultimately a happy birthday to Anchorite Molly Tete. Happy birthday to you, Anchorite Molly. May God richly bless you. May everything you touch turn to gold. This is coming from Apostle Thomas Kusi Apia. And lastly, a happy birthday to Anchorite Yakunedu Ado Aban. May God richly bless you. This is coming from Apostle Thomas Kusi Apia, and I hope that you have a wonderful day celebrating your day today. Have a wonderful time today. And these are the birthday wishes that we have for today on the Healthy Morning Show.
Okay, so finally we're wrapping it up. Today has been an amazing and a beautiful Monday morning, live on your screens to remind you will come your way from Monday through to Friday, from 6 through to 9, and we're here serving you great content. When we talk health, we talk sports, we talk politics, we do In Focus, touch on various stories, you know, across. And when it comes to entertainment, we bag you back to back. Yeah, so it's been an interesting one.
I know.
Yeah,
Monday has been so interesting.
We conquered. We came and saw we conquered. Although we were sad about, you know, the journalist Autry's issue. I know and I hope GJA is standing, and probably we have, you know, other officials also stepping in to ensure that, you know, measures are put in place, and also she's in a safe space. So from all journalists, we are behind the Autry. I know justice is going to prevail, and they're going to respect all journalists. Yeah.
Definitely. But then before we wrap it all up, let's do this birthday wish. So a happy birthday to Anchorite Yakunedu Ado Aban. May God richly bless you, Anchorite Yakunedu. This is coming from Apostle Thomas Kusi Apia. We hope that you have a wonderful day today. May you keep growing in grace and in beauty. Have a wonderful time today, Anchorite Yakunedu. So these are the birthday wishes that we have for today. We're wrapping the Healthy Morning Show up, and on your screens, as I said, we're here to spice up your whole week. So from today up until Friday, keep watching Healthy Morning, 6 a.m. to 9. We're here to serve with nothing but the best. My name is Abigail Rama-Edumensa. Of course, I'm always doing this with my ever handsome
James Yofukwesi. Just call me JK for short. Thank you so much to the production team and to you viewers at home. Wherever you are, stay safe, be blessed. Good morning.
Bye.